Yo, what's up? What's up, YouTube? What's up, the Cowboys Nation? What's going on, family? How y'all doing? It's Anthony Fallon back again, Tone Setter Sports Channel. Let's go. Um, let's go. Let's go with the talks, man. Let's just say blue and white scrimmage. It was good, good practice, guys. Good scrimmage, guys. I gotta tell you, things are looking good. Some minor setbacks with injuries. But that's all in part of practice and football. You know, everybody's getting back into shape, you know, and everything. Some guys have been off the field for a while, speaking of like Sean Lee and all of that. So yeah. You know, those things, you know, with the holdout of Zeke, but that gives these younger guys a lot of opportunities. Amari didn't play. That gave the young wide receiver core a lot of opportunities to get some reps in with the, you know, first team and whatnot. So absolutely, that was good. That's good. That's real good. And we get to see what these guys are made of. You know, to have a little bit of competition as we approach our first preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers Saturday. And definitely want to see that, but also the backup quarterback competition, you know what I'm saying, if there is any, and getting to see Mike White and Cooper Rush and these guys do their things on the field as they get more comfortable in being in the offense. And Darius Jackson, another one, because he came in with Zeke and Prescott in 2016 as well, to see him grow as well and get to see how he's going to play with the first team or whatnot, cut this up and coming Saturday in our first preseason game. So that's going to be very good. And as I stated before in one of my previous videos, you know, it's all about this team is going to be built as the next man up, to be honest with you. No, we can never replace Zeke for the talent that Zeke possesses. You know, he is that bell cow. He is that. But for the time being, until we get Zeke back on the field, we can't worry about that, you know. And it's all about the rest of these guys that we have in our staple of offense, these other workhorses that can be utilized in the same way, but maybe not as productive, or maybe we will. We might find a diamond in the rough. We might find a David Johnson or some of these or Alfred Morris, and we have an Alfred Morris, but I'm just talking about Alfred Morris when he broke out with the Washington Redskins, or the guy for the Denver Broncos now. You know what I'm saying? That when you find a running back, you just find a running back. And that's the reason why we draft these guys. That's the reason why we bring these guys in as rookie free agents, because you never know when you might find a diamond in the rough. That's the whole point of drafting and bringing in guys and scouting guys, but bringing them into our organization and seeing what they're made of, you know, because you just never know what we might find. And hopefully we do have that. Not to say that they'll take Zeke's place or nothing like that, but until Zeke get back, that we won't lose much of that production, you know, as far as moving the chains. Okay, that's what it all boils down to, you know. And like I said, when to Zeke on that, it's like, hey, go ahead, just hold out until we can meet and have that common ground, that middle ground where we both can agree upon as far as the contract. But for the time being, these young guys hungry and they want to eat. You know, they want contracts too, and they are going to work, you know what I'm saying, to get that contract, whether it's by the Cowboys or they're auditioning for other teams. You know what I'm saying? It works out either way. So let's get off of that. Now switching gears to another topic is this whole this whole Dak talk, man. I'm getting tired of this shit, to be honest with you. Okay, what quarterback does not want a steady diet of a good running game? Name one. I'll tell you, a matter of fact, I think I gave this example with Aaron Rodgers, and maybe a clip I did, maybe the recent ones, maybe about 2 clips ago, something like that. Maybe I can't remember, because I put out quite a few in a year or so, and I'm not keeping count. But anyway, you would just have to go back and listen for yourself. But we're not even gonna talk about the contract. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that they talk about Dak. They all, like I said in the previous one, they always want to bring up the stats. You know what I'm saying? They want to bring up the stats, and I'm talking about this spinning of the sports media world that we're in and listening to, and they're talking about Dak's contract and is he worth getting the $30 million? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? The thing is this. For example, if Aaron Rodgers was that good on his own without a running game, why has he only produced but 1 Super Bowl? Why? Because 2 components for Aaron Rodgers. No defense, no running game. It's all him. So therefore, you need that balance. And that's why it is important for Zeke, because every quarterback would love to have that balance where they don't have to throw the ball all the time in order to make things happen, because eventually, you will get picked or the balls will get swatted. You know what I'm saying? Something can always have the ball get tipped in the air, and instant turnover, instant transition, however you want to call it, that is never good in an offensive, in the football game or any sports period, when you're talking about especially football, basketball. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me Tom Brady is the pinnacle? That's why he's the pinnacle of the quarterback position as of right now. Because no, they don't have a perennial all-star or pro bowler or all-pro, high draft pick running back like Zeke does. But nevertheless, they know how to find those running backs that will pretty much supplement or complement Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Because when they want to run the ball, they're gonna run the ball, and they're gonna run it down your throat with efficiency with the running backs that they have. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to so that's why you have that parity where, if you get a workhorse, a work stud like the Zeke, the Emmitt Smiths, the Barry Sanders, the Adrian Petersons, the Walter Paytons, just going back to Jim Brown and Earl Campbell and O.J. Simpson, and when you talking about just special, Marshall Faulk, sorry about that, Edgerrin James, yeah, Damian Thompson, yeah, absolutely, they're good, unbelievable. But it's not too many of them that's gonna really help you win the game. They move the chains. The bell cow is for ball control. It's for possession time, because you want to keep the other offense off the field. It's not to win games. It's not. Airing the ball out, wide receivers, big plays, even the special teams, punt returning, kickoff return, yak yardage. Yes, that putting points on the board wins games. Having a quarterback that knows how to put on in the fourth quarter to get your team back to either win or back into the game to win is where it's at. That's the gravy. Now, like I said, we need Zeke. We got to have Zeke. We love to have Zeke, honestly. But that should not be the end all be all to either win or lose a game. You know what I'm saying? As long as the other running backs that we have are doing their job. You know, it's the offensive line. That's the thing. That's why the offensive line got paid. So, absolutely. So I kind of got off on that, but anyway, because I ended up going back to Zeke, it's supposed to switch gears. But but what I was saying with the whole Dak talk, tell me, Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons. Matter of fact, I'm just sharing you something because I picked up a guy Saturday, and at this very they hosted a party, and Arthur Blank was there. And the guy, we was talking about football, you know, of course this guy's wealthy, you know what I'm saying? So he's amongst them. Arthur Blank shows up at his party, and so he goes to talk to Arthur Blank about, you know, the Falcons. And he was like, we have got to take care of not Tevin Coleman, gosh. What's the other running back that they have? Man, I'm always forgetting names. If you watch my videos, I'm always butchering the names and stuff like that. Even of our own Cowboy players, you know what I'm saying? So, but the running back that's for the other stud running back that's for the Atlanta Falcons, not Tevin Coleman, but the other guy, and his name might be Tevin Coleman. Hell if I know. But anyway, he's saying we have got to take care of him and keep him upright throughout the season. So they're gonna do this. So they're gonna share the load with their backup running backs. You know what I'm saying? To keep him fresh going later into the season. Why is that? Because it's ball control, time of possession, move the chains. Yeah, Ryan is their guy. Their quarterback is their guy. You know, Julio is their guy. Because they're special, you know, the wide receivers are the specialists. They are supposed to, you know, get yardage and yak and touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Big playability and stuff like that. You know, that's what it's designed for. The running back is for ball control overall. And then if you have a good balance of pass run and when you need to run the ball, to control the clock, that's where Zeke make his money. And as far as Dak being a quarterback always need a good steady diet of a run game, period, and a defense. So what are these talks amongst the sport media? Oh, Dak can't carry a team. Aaron Rodgers can't carry a team either by himself without a running game and a defense. And Brady can't do it. Because in the Eagles game, the Super Bowl game against the Eagles, they was right there offensively, but defensively they didn't. So you need all three components to balance each other out. When we talk about that aspect of it, of course, special teams is included as well. But I'm talking about as far as quarterback, running back, defense. Because this is don't sit here and believe that bullshit that they all spinning. First things first, undisputed, Shannon Sharp. I'm talking about you, Shannon. You know what I'm saying? First take, all that stuff is BS, man, amongst these guys talking. You know, it just sounds good saying that. Why? Because it's building up the storyline. I keep telling y'all that everything's about storyline, because it helps generate ratings. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys it's the market. It is the number one market amongst sports. Period. So talking about the contracts and everything like that, it just helps keep people tuned in, because you got Dallas haters and then you got Dallas fans. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that they're always going to use Dallas to keep generating those ratings, because they have a large market, a global market, to be honest with you. So all that stuff they talking about Dak is hogwash. Partially true, but a lot of it's some bullshit. It's because name one quarterback that don't look at San Diego Chargers. Philip Rivers has always had a stud, LaDainian Tomlinson. You know what I'm saying? And look how good they was when you had a good quarterback and a good running back together, and how successful they were. No, they never made it over the hump, but look at how successful they were. Why? Because they didn't have a defense. The defense always caved in, every time. And now that they have a defense, and they have a better defense. They have a stud running back that wants his money just like Zeke does. Because before they got Melvin Gordon, what Philip Rivers was doing? Throwing the ball 100 times a game, taking those unnecessary risks when he didn't have to, and he was throwing interceptions left and right. So it don't matter how stud you are as a quarterback, you need that running game regardless. So you need stud wide receivers regardless, and you need a defense regardless, because all of it works in unison. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Bart Scott, yeah, really. Mark Sanchez, Alex Smith. Because when it all boils down to the main thing, like when the season starts, watch, y'all gonna talk about the wins. Y'all gonna talk about, it's always about the wins for the quarterback. Whether if you win ugly or win in a winning style, you know what I'm saying, with gaudy numbers. 400 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Run for 30, 50 yards or something like that. Let's say 20 to 30 yards. You know what I'm saying? Move the chains a little bit for Dak. You feel me? It's all about the W's, baby. It's all about fourth quarter, crunch time.